Welcome back, everyone, to Vale of the Pine. I am just east of Herna, where I am looking for some firewood. And it looks like this is something that could be useful for that purpose. Not sure how I tell whether or not a particular piece of wood is going to be useful for firewood or not, but somehow my character knows this a lot better than the player does, which is most fortunate. So now let's see if we can find something here. Well, obviously chopping down a living tree is not going to produce very much on that side. So let's see if we can find any more firewood. Oh, yes, right over here. Perfect. It looks like that we have not only this bit of firewood here, we also have, I thought I saw, yep, look at that. Half orcs in the area. We must make sure that they don't sabotage our plans here. Because we know that given a chance, they would. Now, speaking of wood, here's some more firewood. And I think soon we will have, yes, this should be plenty to take back to Herna. Now that we're back in Herna, it's time for us to inform the neighbors that they should shelter inside the inn tonight. Ah, here you are, Aldith.
You want the folk of Herna to shelter within Crossway House tonight?
If I hadn't felt the terrible dread that settles upon Herna when the sun goes down, I might object, stranger. But I will do as you say, and let my neighbors know to do the same. Something's not right here in Herna. Well, yeah. So let's try across the street. Let's see what Beledri has to say.
You want the townsfolk to shelter within Crossway House tonight?
If I had found old Eperthal lying on the ground the night this started happening, I might think it wasn't necessary, stranger. But I believe something evil had him in its clutches, and it only departed when I drew near with my lamp. I will tell my neighbors your plan. Yes. And based on Lord of the Rings lore, I suspect the lamp had more to do with it than anything else. Ah, here's someone nice and centrally located who should be able to tell plenty of people about the word.
Shelter in Crossway House tonight? Preposterous!
My family will do as we have always done, stranger, and stay in our own home. There's a bad feeling about Herna of late, it is true, but with my door barred and the candle snuffed, my family has nothing to fear. Others can do as they will, but we will not cower in the tavern all night. This is some scheme of MAGIX to fill his coffers, you mark my words. And old Atherthal has always been mad, ask anyone. Now, good day to you, and do not bother me again. Well, at least she's going to bar the doors, and maybe that'll be sufficient, assuming that she has a nice, strong house. And we are assuming that the inn is nice and strong. There's a point with that. Now, I think it is time... Oh, yes, of course! Maybe I should do some preparing of the fires? And maybe they'll be ready to be at full readiness when the time comes. There we go. There we go. That's half of it. Oh, over into here. Good. Okay, good. Nothing over this way. Oh, one more here. And I think just a little, oh, actually right over here. Good. Now, it's time for us to... Yes, speak to Manel, dear. Perfect. Oh, the end. The firewood has been prepared, the meat collected, everything is ready, I think.
The braziers are refilled, and Madoc's pantry has been newly filled. Good.
As for whether the town folk will shelter within the Crossway House tonight, let us hope that more of them do than do not, for it is for their own good, though they may not now believe it. Let us know when you're ready, Pine Leaf, and we will wait for night to fall. Ooh.
I hope we have done enough, my friend. This night may be a hard one.
I guess we're about to find out.
We have prevailed upon the innkeeper to allow the residents of Herna to shelter within Crossway House for the night. For I fear that whatever evil came to this town will be back.
Well, I don't know why we feel this, but that is what Manelder thinks. Well, how are things going so far, Manel, dear? It is a relief to me that so many of Herna's folk listen to me. I hope the while the Crossway House proves strong enough to keep them safe, or that the evil has moved on and that this plan is made unnecessary. But I cannot risk that. These first hours have been difficult for the people of Herna, for have not been, yes, for made the wise decision to let the ale flow freely, so we have a good number of drunken people here, and to set plenty of food upon those tables, so they don't get too drunk, I guess. The real test will come when the hour's ahead. Will you speak with some of the folk here in Crossway House to determine their mood? Yes, I think I might have had a little bit too much of the ale myself, it sounds like. Now, let's see. Let's see how the innkeeper is doing. I have not seen Crossway House this busy for many months. Would that it could be in better circumstances. Some of my neighbors believe that this is some scheme of mine, cooked up to increase my custom. Ha ha! If only I could claim to have thought of that. Alas, I'm not that smart. It does seem as if nothing will come to Herna this night. Still, you and your companions have my thanks. It is better to be safe than to be sorry, yes? Right? Well, what does... yes. Aberthal. I will tell you the honest truth, Pineleaf, for you and your companions have my respect, and I cannot keep secrets from you. I wish that I had not come here tonight. MAGIX has been free with his spiced beer, and I appreciate it, but that changes nothing. I can see in the eyes of my mind the crawling shape that I encounter the night in town, and I know that if I look over my shoulder, I will see its companion, sitting astride a steel black as night. Steed, yes. They are waiting just outside the walls of the inn, waiting for me to emerge. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just such a strong feeling. I was an adventurer, and now I'm undone by the faintest whisper of a memory. I'm ashamed. There are so many folk here, and some of them heroes. Boromir of Gondor, Ygritte of Rohan, and I do not exclude you from that list, Pineleaf. Oh, forgive me. I will find my courage. There's safety among so many good folk after all. Those shadows will not dare to trouble us here. Well, we'll hope that that is correct. Nobody here? What about upstairs? Here we are. We have here Beledry. There's nothing out there, at least nothing that I can see. I have given myself a couple of frights already tonight when the wind kicks up and throws back the shutters of the inn, but that is all. Well, for now anyway. But I am glad to be in here with neighbors and not out there in the dark. Okay, and we have here Aldith. It is comforting to be inside on a night such as this, even if whatever came here before does not return. Sometimes the conversation ebbs, and I think that I can hear wailing outside the walls of the inn. But it's just my imagination, or perhaps it's the wind. We're safe in the Crossway House, I hope. Your companions have their weapons, and so do you. You will keep us safe if anything happens, won't you? Well, that is my reason for being here. Well, now, let's go and speak with the folk at my table. Pull up a seat. Oh. Which one? This one? Or can well, maybe I should just sit on the table. Here we go. Sit.
We should rest while we can. Perhaps nothing will happen, but
I cannot remain idle, friend Meneldir, while danger approaches. My station shall be at a window, keeping watch.
it will be some hours until dawn, Boromir.
It is of no use, Ranger. I have heard this of the men of Gondor. They lower their guard only when slain.
You have heard it from them alone, I imagine.
Aye, and loudly.
And loudly, yes.
Still, it is a trait the Rohirrim might have used, and spared some sorrow. The land of my people is not what it was. A kingdom draws strength from its king.
Boromir spoke to us of Theoden's ailment. It prevented his audience. When we reach the Dunedain, they will surely know some remedy you can bring back to Rohan.
Yes.
Some doubt?
Saruman the Wizard is a friend of Rohan. His knowledge of remedies and curatives might have proved some help to your king. What is it, Egfrith? You have gone quite pale.
I did not want to say anything, but I fear the wizard might no longer be a friend to Rohan.
Oh?
If Theoden King is to be cured, I would rather he recover on his own, without the aid of Saruman.
Aye, that seems the wisest course.
Yeah, it does. Especially consider recent actions.
Perhaps you should see if Boromir has seen anything outside.
Alright, I guess I could do that. Oh, anything so far? Nothing out there, just the wind and darkness. Well,
If something is going to happen, then let it happen.
you wouldn't make a very good hunter, I think. At least not a patient one.
Curse this endless waiting. Will the sun never rise and put an end to it?
By tomorrow, these dull hours will seem only a passing dream, Boromir.
It seems you'll fall asleep.
Nay, it could be like another dream I've had. One that never releases its grip.
We have all had dreams like that. Every day for the last half year, I have hoped I would wake from my own dream. I would rub the sleep from my eyes and see that Rohan is strong again.
Would that it could be so for Gondor as well. But I speak of another dream. Have any of you ever experienced dreams with the feel of prophecy?
Prophecy. I told you of the assault upon Osgiliath in the days of June, did I not? And of the strange omens surrounding the battle? One of these was a dream with the feel of prophecy. This I withheld from you, for I didn't know what you'd think. In Gondor, we rely upon the bright swords and the sturdy shield, and we are right to do so. A dream is a fleeting thing, And what man will put his trust in something that lives only in darkness and vanishes with the sunrise? I say dreams are fleeting, but this one was peculiar. It came to my brother Faramir on the eve of the attack upon Osgiliath, and then many nights afterwards, always the same. It came once to me, and although my brother told me of the dream, it was with my own eyes that I beheld these details, that they would seem real to me. In the dream I saw the eastern sky glowing dark, and there was a rumbling as of thunder. But a light lingered in the western sky, and a clear voice called to me. "Seek for the sword that was broken," it said. "In Imladris it dwells. There shall be counsels taken stronger than mortal spells." That is a great interest to my son, any son of Gondor Pineleaf. Any means of countering the evils that pour from the Morgul Vale are welcome in Minas Tirith, but the voice did not stop there. Speaking of Imladris, it continued. "There shall be shown a token that doom is near at hand, for Isildur's bane shall waken, and the halfling forth shall stand." Boromir stares at you solemnly. "I must apologize for treating you with such surprise when we first met in Tharbad, Pineleaf, but I confess that I thought that you might have been the halfling spoken of in the dream. Perhaps you are still, but having come to know you, I do not think that you mean any harm to Minas Tirith or to Gondor. For my brother to dream of this doom, the doom of Minas Tirith, on so many nights, and then for the same dream to come to me, I fear that we are running out of time. Gondor needs the wisdom that lies hidden in Imladris. But now we waste our hours hiding in this inn, when we should be moving ever onward."
This is why you seek Imladris? You did not tell Saruman the purpose of your journey.
Perhaps I was being foolish. Perhaps it is only a dream. But if it is not, if the sword that was broken might save Minas Tirith.
You would do anything to save your home.
Aye, Egfrith. That I would.
What was that?
Uh-oh. We got problems?
I feel cold.
Something outside.
I suspect is what we were expecting. Everyone else, stay inside. The fires are burning brightly, but there's a chill in the air. The feeling of dread grows stronger. Prepare yourself. Something approaches. Well, let's see. Let's add a little hope in here. One never knows what we need, right? Well, now, let's continue.
The dead have risen.
Whoopsie daisy. There we go. It looks like the dread has risen also.
Fell sorcery sends them against us.
Well, what have we done here? Oh, yeah. And disease, of course. That's what they like. Fear, disease. All sorts of stuff. None of it good, of course.
Fight on, my friends! Fight on!
Fight on. Gasping horror. Well, definitely not a fun situation here. Like, can I get out of this stuff? And you too.
Is there no end to this horror?
Probably not. Well, maybe when dawn arrives? We can only hope. That's right. I'm starting to use these 4 and 5 build gambits, which of course is completely useless considering that I do not have access to any yet.
I think that is all of them. It is almost dawn.
Well, that's good. Well, nice. We survived. And I hope the end did. It looks like the end did. Everything seems to be calm now.
It is as I feared.
The creatures that passed through Herna 4 nights ago were the raids once called the Nazgul, and they left something behind to draw the dead hither. But why have these creatures of legend returned to life? And where did they go? And most importantly, and of greatest concern to me, is for what purpose have they come so far north? Well, that I cannot answer. Well, at least not without cheating
We should examine the northern approach to the town.
and using knowledge from later parts of the game. We should examine the northern approach to the town, since that's the direction from which the dread came. Let us clean up whatever detritus left by the whites, so that it will not spark alarm in the townsfolk. Though it may be too late for that. Yeah, probably. Well, now, let's see if we could find whatever they dropped. And we got people sweeping up around here, trying to clean up. But a broom's not going to whisk away this type of stuff. There we go. Children there are completely unconcerned with all of this. Alright, how about, yeah, here's some more over here. Okay. Good. Another weapon. And what is this? Anything else here? I feel like something may be missing. Ah! Look at that. There we go. Now, thought I saw some sort of helmet over here. Yes. A rusted helmet. The fallen arm of a wight forgotten during the battle crawls to attack. Really? All new term for an army, I guess? The crawling arm makes an angry fist and expires. Oh, boy. This is what I found.
Even in the light of day, I find it hard to believe such things are possible.
This equipment is very old, Pine Leaf. Even in the light of day, I find it hard to believe that such things are possible. Ancient terrors stalk the land once again, and the dead walk. While you were gone, I found a skull-shaped token buried in the dirt. A shallow grave of sorts, just beneath the topsoil. I think it was left here on purpose, to draw those creatures hither. Well, I hope that's what that was meant to do. Not that they did it, but because if it's what drew them hither, then destroying it should keep them from coming back, right? Well, who knows? What do you say about that, Boromir?
I share Meneldir's amazement, but I do not like it.
Let the dead sleep, and trouble us no longer. I am filled with disgust that such things may be. But where's Aefrith gone? I thought that she went with you, but she has not returned. Do you think she ran afoul with some whites, and that we may have missed? Well, what do you say about that, Minel, dear?
Boromir is right. I have not seen Egfrith since we came outside.
I thought that Efrith went with you to collect the fallen items of the Whites, but you say that you have not seen her? Well, perhaps she went back inside the inn? Well, I suppose we could check that. Nope, Efrith is not here. So, where did she go? We have to investigate that in the next episode of Vale of the Pine.